Hyper.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, mostly drunk. I'm joined, as always, by co-hosts and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. How are all of you doing out there in the world of YouTube?
Yes, that's no longer a rhetorical question. You can actually answer in the live chat. We are going live.
We do that now.
They fly now? They live now.
That's right, baby.
And today we have a very exciting episode. So much multiverse going on tonight. But let's go ahead and introduce our panel. We got the creator of the 9 Nerd Yards channel and a philosopher of the barbershop variety. It's 9. What's going on?
Hey. I feel like it's been forever since I've been on a stream. Whoa, y'all. It's
I know,
been a
right?
while. I missed Gen V. I missed, maybe that's actually it. But, but yeah, I'm glad to be back. Actually.
Yeah, you have any nerd FOMO or anything?
A little bit. I mean, especially tonight, you guys are covering the Marvels. I haven't seen it.
Same.
So.
We'll briefly talk about the Marvels.
But I mean, who has, right?
apparently not a lot of people yet.
Yes, apparently not a lot of people.
And last but not least, he's a comic book and movie aficionado. And don't let the light skin fool you. He is definitely family. Jeff, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I mean, it'd be good, but y'all just hate me because I'm light skinned.
Yeah, he's not lying. He's not lying. I wish he was lying.
Oh man, guys, so excited
Alex,
to have you on.
You introduced yourself, but I don't like that you do that. Next time, I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay.
You introduce yourself. I don't like that.
So, Bill.
So we've been doing it the whole time.
So,
Bill, who do we have sitting next to you on that couch, Bill?
Man, let me tell you, we got extra special guest here with me tonight.
Hey, I mean, I'm already the host. We don't need fanfare around here. Fanfare's for the host. Yeah.
Shut up.
Everyone knows I'm amazing. We don't need to get into that. But we have a very exciting show for you guys tonight. We're talking about Invincible. We're talking about Loki. We're talking about Rick and Morty. But as always, we're talking shit. But we're gonna start the conversation.
Talking about doo-doo.
Booby. No, not booby. That's
boobies.
Boo boo and doody.
Sorry, you just fucked up so bad. I thought you said something else.
Yeah, I just mixed two gross things together to make something wonderful. Which is boobies. But today we're not talking about boobies. We're talking about the MCU film, The Marvels, sequel to the 2019 film Captain Marvel. We're just going to talk about this very briefly. How did you feel? Like, what were your initial thoughts on the movie? Like, did you like it? Did you hate it?
Like 9 said, we're one of the only people who went and saw it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, well, it's weird for us because we went and saw it in Los Angeles when normally you see a pretty big crowds, but also we saw it in Los Angeles at 40X, which you never see anybody in the theater for 40X. Not because it's not fun, but because it's like $50 for 2 people. So you never really see people doing that. But we went and saw it in 40X, 3D, and I ain't gonna lie, I liked it. So, take of that for what you will. I liked it a lot. We talked about it earlier. I like the way that they had a lot of chemistry together. The ladies, there were a lot of things that I had an issue with, but I'm going to save them for when we do a big breakdown with Blake and the whole 9 Nerd Yard crew.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see it like either next weekend or Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be like making a trip up to Michigan to see all the family and stuff. So, we might just go out and see it.
Yeah, right. A family event.
And then, we will probably talk about it for videos to come because it's going to be a heated debate. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Shout out to Morgan in the chat. What'd you say, Morgan? The Marvels was Marvel at its best. My niece absolutely relates to Miss Marvel and giggled her butt off the whole time. Oh, that's a nice positive review from
I
Morgan.
feel like that's exactly what I'm I think I'm gonna love the movie just because of who's in it.
Right.
Like I'll like it.
Yeah, like it's a great crew. I mean, Nia DaCosta, I'm a big fan of her. She directed Candyman.
Oh,
yeah.
Nia DaCosta,
the new Candyman.
Yeah, she directed the new Candyman. Great movie. And she did a really good job, I think, with getting some great performances out of these actors. Like, I really like the chemistry between the three. Imani Vellani, I think is the actress's name, who plays Miss Marvel.
Hope it is. It sounds funny.
She's incredible. She was great on Miss Marvel, and she continues to be just a beacon of charisma. Like, she's just so much fun to watch. And I thought
she's
like all
actually
the
even writing comics now.
Oh, really?
She's writing
She's
Miss
a huge
Marvel.
comic book fan,
They
so that's funny.
loved her enough, and she knew enough about Miss Marvel that they brought her on to write a Miss Marvel story.
She was literally correcting journalists on the red carpet. A few shots that I've seen her.
Don't get it fucked up.
Yeah, don't get it fucked up.
I love an actor who's also an actually kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Right. Oh yeah, Henry Cavill for sure. But yeah, I thought that the switching powers, what you call it, effect, I guess you would call it, was really interesting, and like the way that they incorporated that into some of the action sequences was really cool. There is a crazy, as always in these Marvel movies, there's a crazy post-credit sequence, but you guys can let us know in the comments how you felt about that.
No, do not leave it in the comments.
I guess
because goddamn, you're spoiling shit. If you leave it in the comments, I'll delete your comment. That's just how it's working.
The rule is wait 2 weeks before you post spoilers.
Exactly. Give motherfuckers some time. Shit. And also, I just want to point out that due to low ticket sales, people are like think that the movie's bad. But let me tell you something, man. I looked at the worst grossing Marvel movies. Captain America is one of them. And people look back at it now with reverence.
Also the
I'm just saying. But it was after Iron Man 2, so it's not really the beginning. It's like
that was the third Marvel movie, though.
Yeah, I feel like
but that's what I'm saying. Like, you've already had that's like coming in with a show after the local news. Like, I'm getting all of the ratings because I just built somebody else built up. Yeah,
because
somebody else just built
Marvel was not a connected universe at the time.
Yeah,
so there was no reason to go see Cap. There was no reason to go see Cap just based on Iron Man 1 and 2.
Well, Number two, which makes it.
I didn't like Cap the first time.
I will say this: we are in an interesting place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where I think perception has a big impact on the way people see these movies. Because one of the things I learned from the Captain Marvel Doesn't Hold Up episode, you guys should go check that out.
Exactly,
is that a lot of our perceptions.
Happy birthday,
Noah!
Happy birthday, Noah!
The perception of these movies are really affected by I guess the noise around the movies, whether it's conscious or unconscious,
conscious or unconscious,
whether we go into
positive or negative,
right? Yeah, and I feel like maybe a couple of years removed from this movie, people have a different perception of the movie because I feel like this movie was kind of set up to fail, considering just the state of the MCU. Everybody's just set up to hate any new Marvel movie that's not Deadpool.
This movie didn't even have an Instagram page. That's how you know the studio don't give a fuck about your movie when they don't even bother to set up a fucking 20-year-old with a job to fucking run your fucking Instagram page.
I can't even get a reel or a TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. A TikTok, a motherfucking reel, a story.
I mean, I think the other issue is just people irrationally hating on Brie Larson before the movie even came out.
Yes,
a lot with the Avengers movies, they started review bombing because they just didn't like Brie Larson.
It's also
before it even came out.
It's the same thing with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel made a lot of money, but everybody shit on it. But we just Doesn't Hold Up, and everybody who didn't like it on the episode, when they first saw it, they didn't like it. Everyone who didn't like it on the first episode, spoiler alert, they liked it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they thought it holds up. So you should go see. Does it hold up? Does Captain Marvel hold up? You need to go check it out.
Right, yeah. I do want to know
Like how
what
you
you
did
guys
that.
think about
Clever.
this. Because this is the headline that I'm seeing right here.
Mm.
The Marvel's meltdown at the box office, marking a new low for the MCU. And then it goes on to say that it opened with just 47 million, according to the studio.
What a
but
flop.
This is the thing: the 33rd installment. I feel like that has the biggest, like,
that's the biggest problem. Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. It's the fucking 33rd.
It's the 33rd. It's the 33rd installment, and none of this really, at least as far as we know, right at this moment, none of this really connects anything to anything. It's a standalone movie with standalone characters that really haven't been integrated into. This is the second time we've seen Rambo since Vision. I mean, WandaVision.
Yeah.
So that just tells you, we haven't had any time with these characters, and it's all a standalone.
Yeah, and like to your point, it's like kind of crazy because the Infinity Saga, I knew, like, everyone knew what they were doing there. They're like, okay, there was these rocks in every movie, like, we're going to get closer to these rocks. Now I couldn't, like, actually just, like, pitch this to anybody and be like, yeah, and the MCU, they are what exactly right now? I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing.
I'll say before we move on, and I'll get, like, just
before we move on. Sorry,
I do like the idea of just single stories that are not connected to everything. Now that we have more volume of movies, we're not getting a movie every other year, and they're not required to connect.
I'm not giving you this. I'm just pointing at you because you're making good. You're making good points,
and they're not required to connect. Like, I love picking up a comic book and being like, oh, this is a nice, like, little fun adventure with this character in this world. It doesn't have to connect to this overarching story when the big comic book comes out in July or whatever.
It is all
connected. But it's and I don't really need that. And that being said, I think that the connectivity of everything will hopefully be a little less scrutinized later down the road when we're just like, oh, well, this is just like a fun story. It's
I
not.
Just think that the general public needs that, though. Needs to be like, okay, I'm watching this movie because it's a part of the story in this way. Or
well, you know what? I'll tell you what, they'll never know if they need it or not because they haven't seen this fucking movie. So I suggest everyone goes to see the movie, because if you hear that someone liked it, or if you hear that someone didn't like it, shouldn't you be the one to judge for yourself? I mean,
go watch a movie and make your own opinion.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
And then come here and listen to our opinions.
Right. Yeah, if you have a very weak will and you need somebody to tell you what to like.
What's up, Othelius? How's it going? And yes, it's cinematic universe fatigue. Yeah, man. Nobody. We got so much that we can talk about with that, and we will talk about it at some point, because December's coming up and won't be on TV. So we will be without anything to talk about. So we will be talking about Marvels again. And I don't think Blake is gonna ever let us not talk about it until
he's gonna keep texting us.
He's gonna keep texting us about it because he did not like the movie. And
that's what he said. He said he didn't like it.
He did not like it. He gave us some words yesterday, but we gonna let him. We gonna let him talk.
Like y'all fucking wrote the movie and shit.
Explain yourselves.
We gonna let him talk his shit when he gets on. Well, not today, because I don't want him to spoil that.
But we're going to move it right along. The next thing we're talking about is Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 5, Unmortricken. This episode was crazy. Every episode, by the way, we're talking about on this show today is about multiverses.
Oh, jeez.
It's pretty crazy how
people from Rick and Morty that used to work on Rick and Morty worked on Loki Season 1 at least.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember if they worked on this season or not.
I can't remember either. But yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected. This episode had some wild implications as far as the overarching story from way back to season 1. We get the return of evil Morty. We get the return of evil Rick. It's all going down. In this episode, an evil Rick episode with an evil Morty episode. This episode opens with showing evil Morty's backstory while his Rick was drunk. Evil Morty altered him to be his servant, leading into his actions throughout the series. I really liked the way that this opened up because he was when they came out of the portal, it's like, oh yeah, another adventure where I ended up in somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Like, you see this is like peak
from
frustration for Morty.
Oh yeah,
and
another adventure. Well, I lost my voice because I was throwing up all weekend. But
and we get confirmation that evil Rick is like evil Morty is the Morty to evil Rick.
yes, we got that confirmation kind of like last season at the end of last season.
Oh, okay.
First episode of last season. I mean, excuse me, last episode.
So
last
is
season.
that like Rick Prime? Evil
Yes.
Morty is Rick Prime's Morty? Okay.
Yes. And so that's why at the end he's like, oh, so original grandson. Isn't this crazy? Like, we just happen to run into each other.
I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. I have not watched any bit of this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh,
It's definitely very crazy.
it's crazy.
But
who did say that they had
Trying
seen
to
this?
catch up.
I don't know if anybody said that they've seen this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's weird. Most people don't watch.
Oh,
Rick
it
and
was
Morty.
Terry. Where is Terry?
Oh yeah, Terry. He's out there. Is he a clone? Is he a variant? Who knows?
Who knows?
He's out there in the
Terry Prime.
multiverse.
Where's
Terry Prime. And I did really like this opening sequence because, like you mentioned when we were watching it, if you didn't watch the past 6 seasons of Rick and Morty and you watched this episode, it's a pretty good.
Seriously,
catch-up.
you can watch it. It's like that episode of Euphoria last year. The only reason I know about that episode because I happened to watch it because a friend of mine loves that show. But there's like an episode where the girl does the play. She writes the play.
Oh yeah, I heard about the play.
I'm like, yo, I just got caught up on the whole season right now. I like the whole series. I just got caught up. Didn't have to watch nothing. So look, it's just one of those episodes. Evil Terry, which
right? Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, clearly
Oh,
ours.
every single one.
every one of them.
And
Which one's the good Terry is the question.
And I
We'll
love
tell you when we find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball
I love
Z
how
for all
economical
the Europeans.
this episode was, though, because they crammed in so much story that, like, in the first 15 minutes before we got the commercial break, I was like, man, that was a good episode.
I was
That's
like,
a nice
nigga.
cliffhanger. I was like, oh shit, we got.
Yeah, I was like, nigga, what is you talking about? That
We
was
got
the
so much.
beginning of the fucking show. He was like, Alex was dead ass ready to be over. He was like, well,
All
I'm
right,
good.
I'll start writing my notes.
Yeah, he started taking notes. So that was good. Can you start that over? That was great.
But yeah, there's still so much left, and it's pretty insane. So as we like get into the episode, we're talking about the
evil Morty's
retirement
oasis.
Plan. Yeah, he has this nice
retirement oasis.
He has this nice little crazy holographic retirement. He's got on this alternate planet. He's interrupted by portals opening caused by Rick and Morty searching for Rick Prime. So this is kind of like making pockets in the multiverse or whatever. Or, use the insert rules from
It's like he's like
Spider-Verse here. Or
it's
whatever.
like he's a watch salesman in Queens. Got big pockets.
Got Hey, you want a better life? You want a better existence?
life? Yo, you got the
That's
rollies. I got rollies. Bust them down on this side. Bust downs on the left. Got the regulars on the right. Right here, baby. Right here, baby.
And Evil Morty confronts Rick and Morty, our Rick and Morty. And all three are captured by Rick Prime, along with the Ricks whose wives were killed by him.
Well, hold on. Before that, didn't you think? Look, I thought it was crazy that Rick was just collecting all of the decoys, the Rick Prime decoys.
It's pretty
He's just
smart.
murdering all of them. He's like, scan them. Nope, not him. Bam. No, scan him. Not him. Bam.
I mean, that's an efficient way to make sure you know which one is and isn't real.
Is it from this episode? Is this from that episode?
This is actually what he was getting to. This is actually what Alex was getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, this is when he's stuck in the box. And I thought this was an interesting concept where, like, what's in the box? Turns out it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head. It is a bunch of variants. Even Indiana Jones Rick. Which
These are all the variants. These are all the variants that got close to finding Prime Rick. So he locked him up in this inescapable place until there were enough of them to play a game. So this is a little bit of Saw vibes in this scene. That was fucking hilarious because they have to all kill each other to find out if their wife is still alive. No, to get a copy of their wife made, and then whoever survives will be able to stay with her for the rest of his life. And of course he was lying, but every one of them thought to fucking do it except our Rick.
Right, yeah. He is the Rickest Rick.
Or
maybe I don't know. I was
maybe
thinking about
Morty
this.
is the Morty is Morty. Yeah, he did come out and do some dope shit.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I was thinking about. Is Evil Rick and Evil Morty the Rickest Rick and the Mortiest Morty? Because they've reached their highest potential, even though that makes them evil.
You know what? That's a good fucking question.
Because Morty is like, he's as smart as Rick Prime.
He is. But that's his Rick.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not his Rick because he killed his Rick.
Oh, yeah, he killed. Wait a minute.
Wait, actually, no, that raises more questions.
Yeah, no, because you said that was his Rick. Oh, no. Our Morty is his Rick. Is Rick Prime's Rick. We got Morty Prime.
Right. That's right. Yes. So Evil Rick is our Morty's Rick.
Yeah.
And Evil Morty is just, he killed his Rick.
Yeah. He killed his Rick. Yeah. He ain't got no Rick.
Jeff, you following this?
You guys make me so happy I don't watch this show.
No, it's really simple. It's
this
really
is
easier
insane.
It's really easy. Actually, literally, if you just watch this episode, swear to God, if you just watch this episode, they literally play out exactly how this works. Like literally everything we just said is way better explained.
And I feel like beyond comic book movies, comic books, educating us super nerds when we were, growing up, Rick and Morty I give them a lot of credit for educating the layman in this multiversal craziness, because like I feel like Multiverse was not that popular until Rick and Morty came out, and then
it wasn't. But that's
everybody was trying to do the multiversal stuff, and I see how that.
But that's because Marvel stole people from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that's true.
They were like, no, we're getting them right. They were like, getting them over here.
They were like the coach who won the championship. It was like, oh, well, now we're gonna get all the assistant coaches from that team.
They're like, we want to do that.
Yeah, it's like we want a championship.
I want that.
These are sports references, guys. For all of you who don't,
I mean, be nerds. I just realized some nerds don't watch sports.
Hey, yeah, not everybody's a nerd about everything. We happen to be nerds about sports.
You can be a nerd about anything, but every nerd ain't a nerd about everything.
But yeah, like
I only watch sports to get drunk. You know what I mean? Like, sports is a drinking trigger for me.
Yeah, everybody can have a reason to do anything.
Judges say that we will also accept that answer.
I love to kick a slap shot for a 3-pointer right in enemy territory. Right, guys?
Oh man, a touchdown every World Series. But at the end of this episode, Evil Morty incapacitates Rick Prime. Because Rick Prime, I guess Rick Prime is the evil Rick.
Evil Rick.
I'm just gonna call it Evil Rick. Yeah, because the Wikipedia has it fucked up. But evil Rick has this plan to destroy all of. Like he's created a device to create.
I just want everybody who's new to know. First of all, shout out to you if you're watching us from Banthas channel. If you're watching from Nerds at Night, that's Nerds NITE. I just want to say thank you and shout out to y'all. But also, nigga, they don't know. This nigga always be using Wikipedia to make his notes, but then he don't fact check them, and I be telling him. Why do you just Ron Burgundy the goddamn?
Because it takes so long to put this show together. I gotta cut some corners somewhere.
Then we just end up giving Wikipedia a shout out. But that's just how it works.
Well, shitting on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that you guys have gotten a peek behind the curtain, once Rick and Morty, once Evil Morty incapacitates evil Rick.
Yes.
And steals and deactivates the Omega device, which is a device that's created to basically kill all of Rick's closest friends throughout every single universe.
Yes. And what was his name?
Oh, Slow-Mo. Or Uncle... Well, no. Slow Mobius.
Slow Mobius.
Right. Yeah, he killed Slow Mobius.
Slow Mobius has a superpower to slow down time. If you didn't really get that, and he's from episode 7 of season 1
or something like that.
I think it's episode 7 of season 1. I might be wrong.
I think it was the party episode.
It's the party episode where
season 1.
Yeah, they got to go get crystals that they crack
that
up
is
with cocaine.
Throwback. Yeah,
it's a throwback. Yeah, 7 seasons in, they go back way to season 1.
A nothing dumb character.
Such a fucking useless character.
Like the dumbest character.
They went and got his ass, and they killed him, and it was fucking sad. Actually, I was like, "Nah, Uncle, man, damn."
Yeah, we get a post-credit scene with him too, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But
later.
At the end of the episode, once Rick and Morty were god damn it, I keep trying to say the very end. Evil Morty incapacitates Rick Prime or Evil Rick and allows Rick to beat him to death. This was a really intense scene that I was surprised that they I don't know, it's animated, so I guess you can get away with it. But how did you feel about the visceral nature of him just?
Oh, let me just tell y'all something.
This guy
he
to
just
death.
Beat the shit out of this motherfucker to death. Like if I could explain it to those who haven't seen it, it was very much so like some Quentin Tarantino shit. Like look at all the blood he got on him. I'm talking about
this is the after.
This is the after. He he beat this dude so bad. And the animation was like I said, Quentin Tarantino-esque. Like if you ever seen Inglourious Bastards where he was like where they beat the shit out of Hitler and they shot his face and shit. Like that's what we're talking about right here.
This was like the Jew Bear scene.
Yeah, seriously. This was very fucking graphic. But I thought it was dope. What you mean? What you talking about? Boy, we was watching it together. I thought it was dope.
It was incredible. It's definitely very dramatic because not only is it very violent, but just the shit that Evil Rick is saying, because he knows our Rick better than anybody. He's telling him about all of his insecurities, how empty he's gonna feel after all this, how his life means nothing, and it's just so heartbreaking. And then we get
hold on. I just got to talk about what Morgan said.
Oh yeah, what did Morgan say?
Because he was talking about when so Good Morty was like, "Are you all right, Rick?" And Evil Morty was like, "That's not an all right amount of blood." Like, do you see how fucking much blood is right there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like thousands of dollars worth of counseling amount of blood.
Right. But then, he doesn't go to see his therapist.
Yeah, he doesn't go see anyone.
So he ends up just like kind of losing it.
Probably because she's fucking
and it was kind of a depressing cut scene, but that's kind of what they do.
Or another episode.
Is this gonna be no, they're doing one next week. Sometimes they do like hiatuses.
Especially when holidays coming up.
Yeah, but they never used to do that at first, but they do it now because they're
doing mid-season.
They might stop and then do another one like right after Christmas. But
they're only doing 8 episodes this season.
Huh?
I think they're only doing 8 episodes this season.
Oh, and then the next episode's the second to the last.
Yes, 3 more left if that's the case.
Sucks.
Cool. Okay. I mean, I'm good with that. Then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? No, but what if they start back in January with the second part of the season? That's usually what they do.
That'd be cool because have a little break and then
I think that's
come back.
What's going to happen.
Make the season seem longer
Alex
than it really
usually
is.
Not right because he's talking through the eyes of Wikipedia.
That's true. And also,
Othelia said, "Take a shot every time we say Rick and Morty," but you really should say take a shot every time we say. Every time we say,
oh wow,
Wikipedia.
You got a sponsor. You guys want to block
about time?
Or what?
Wait, what?
What are you talking about? He's going to give us followers.
He wants to give us a bunch of followers.
Look, go to Cash App IntoNever. Just cash up us some money. Just do it right now.
I don't talk business while I'm drinking. So.
You can always
Whereas-
contribute. Everybody, you just let you know you can always contribute by cash money sign IntoNever. All one word. Just you can send money. Don't
You see us in the
request
streets,
anything.
Well,
Don't
cash in my
request.
face, you know.
Yeah, throw
They,
money at me like a stripper.
Disrespect me.
Which, by the way, they just put out the next year's When We Were Young lineup. So we're gonna need that money. Fucking send it, guys.
Give me your money. Give me your money. Hey,
monies.
but don't leave. You can just stay as long as you like.
Ophelia said for $1 a day, motherfucker, you can
Real quick, I just want to mention the post-credit scene because it's kind of funny. Slow Mobius's wife, after realizing that her husband's been killed across all multiverses, goes searching for Slow Mobius throughout the multiverse to no avail, but she eventually meets an alien who's lost his wife across multiple universes, and they marry each other.
Good God.
The
Hey,
weirdest.
for anybody who
ending to
watched
this
the episode who's actually in here, and shout out to everybody who's in here joining us. This shit was like classic Rick and Morty, where it's this heartfelt, ridiculously heartfelt moment. I'd say Futurama-esque moment where you have this arc with a character in less than 30 seconds, probably.
Yeah.
But it felt like a whole episode.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they end up like a happy family. It was crazy. It was crazy, unnecessarily good.
Yeah, it was insanely well done.
And
and it reminded me a lot of Community too, where they have a lot of weird tags, especially in the later seasons, that are just off the walls and disconnected. What were you about to say, Jeff?
So the Injustice comic book, after Superman beats Green Arrow to death, to kind of like as a thank you or as like a present, Dr. Fate takes Black Canary to a universe where Green Arrow lived, but Black Canary died, and puts them together.
This up.
Because
Remember that.
I think Terry might come in, and I think he's going to probably want to talk Rick and Morty. So we're going to move on really hard left.
Yeah, we were wrapping up on Rick and Morty anyway.
I know.
But we're gonna let's move all right along to Invincible season 2, episode 2. In about 6 hours, I lose my virginity to a fish. What a title for an episode!
Because it was fucking
Like a pop punk song.
Yeah,
it's like a My Chemical Romance song.
Either a song or a band. One of the two. A
song, story of the year.
A song that was written by the band that is the band's name. You know what I'm saying?
Newfound Glory.
Eponymous album.
Right.
But
This
yeah,
is
actually
also,
a show that you guys
is a cock tease because that didn't happen. It's clickbait.
Yeah,
it's clickbait.
Yeah.
Thanks for the spoilers.
It's all about clickbaits.
Nobody's seen Invincible? I thought that's why y'all watching.
This is a show that you guys actually watch, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about this for a little bit. Like opening thoughts, like initial thoughts on this episode.
Jeff, go ahead. Did you read the comics? You didn't read the comics.
I did.
You did read the comics. Yeah, let's go ahead.
I'm on volume 13, so I'm.
You're our comic expert. That's why I'm always asking you.
It was a great episode. It was fun. It had some ridiculous parts in it, but those parts worked while still having like some emotional parts. I thought it was a good episode. And Adam Eve's dad's a dick.
Consistently a dick.
Yeah, some consistency from season 1 and the comic books.
Yeah. And it is an interesting experience watching this show because I read all the comic books after watching season 1, and there are a lot of well, I mean, this is not a brag because there are a lot of like sort of movie of the week kind of storylines in the comic book that I just brushed by because I was like, I want to see what happens with the Viltrumites. Like I just didn't give a fuck. So there are a lot of things like
Popping them
peripherally
pages.
that I'm watching. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that did happen
Right.
in the comic book. So this is an interesting rewatch for me.
He was
But
popping them pages, boy.
but Nine, did you like this episode? How are you liking this season so far?
I'm going to have to agree with Morgan here. I'm sorry, MH. I'm sorry. I get
Yeah,
your
that's
name wrong.
Morgan.
You got it right.
Morgan. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. Not my favorite episode, but it was brutal in a sense. You know what I don't like? I don't like this right here. I'm going to put it up. I don't like how he's constantly just getting mobbed and just beat
Right.
up. It's just so like, man, just fucking fly away, do something else, you know, like get his ass in a different way other than just mobbing him, you know.
Yeah, it does
But,
seem like his weakness
yeah.
is multiple people.
Let us know in the comments
Right.
why y'all
Just-
did.
It's almost
More than
like
a few.
training would be good for him.
Right.
Well,
like, yeah.
I don't. Well, you know, his dad was trying to train him in the first season. But y'all make sure to let us know what y'all thought about this episode, good or bad. I myself, I liked it. No, it's not my favorite episode. I mean, it can't be. It's the second episode of the season. It cannot be your favorite episode. If it's your favorite episode, man, you are easily entertained. But it was a good building block for the places that they want to go, because the storytelling is always impressive on this show to me because of how much story they're trying to tell.
Mhm.
It's so much, the material is so dense.
Look at the material.
Look at the source material. Yeah, it's just so dense that you really gotta admire how much they go into doing what they do. I mean, so I liked this episode because we got a lot of characters in how long is this show? 49 minutes. We got a lot of characters in 49 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we did introduce a lot of people and
Mhm.
do a lot of story work. I did, you know, like I didn't think this, you know, this wasn't one of my favorite episodes for one of the reasons that I said that while reading the comic, but this felt like one of the movie of the week kind of storylines that I would read in the comic book and be like, all right. But now that Robert Kirkman has a second bite at the apple, he's able to pepper in these other things in the storyline. It's like, well,
Is
maybe
it
we'll
a
have this
golden
thing come a
apple?
little early.
He's definitely doing
You
much better.
saying you wanted
I
to,
don't want
you
it.
saying,
I see what you did there.
you saying that you wanted to prematurely come?
What?
You said you
In
wanted,
essence, that's
you
what
said
he
you
did
wanted
there.
to come a little early.
Mhm.
No, I did.
You wanted to come a little early.
Okay.
That's what we heard.
Okay, but
You were
like,
talking
exactly.
about-
I was more
what are you
like
talking
this.
about?
I was more like Adam and Eve this for the majority of this episode. But like all of the parts with Mark's mom, I really
Oof.
enjoyed. I was like, man, that is so sad, so brutal.
Yeah.
When she was you know, just smashing the cupboard off, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I feel you,
Very
darling.
touching
Feel you,
stuff
darling.
with that moment.
They're
Mhm.
hitting her notes from the comic
Those moments.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing it really
Okay.
well. Yeah. That's
So
whole-
you know what? And I know those are the moments that Alex didn't skip. You know what I'm saying? Even I knew he wasn't flying past that. Alex be deep on that shit on them pages. He'd be like,
I mean, come
Oh,
on.
shit.
It looked,
why he treating her like that? Don't he know that's his mama?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
it looked just like what's his face, Reginald Val Johnson,
Yeah.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
hilarious since he was
Isn't it
voicing
him?
him.
It's him. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
him.
he was voicing him too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
But yeah, and then that moment when she's trying to sell the house, what was up with that dude talking to his wife like that? Just like, I was
Yo,
like,
I was
You
like,
want-
first of all, that's
you're gonna
not
sell
that's not
the
how
domestic
black men.
abuse?
That's not how black men talk to their wives. First of all, even in abusive ones, they gonna say it different than what he was saying. I didn't like how that depiction. I was like, he should have been any other race because that's just not how. But I thought it was. He was a dick, and that's equality in
Well,
television.
I mean, she was running her mouth.
yeah, right here.
She's in the wrong room, not the kitchen. I'll tell you that right now.
he's
earn money,
absurdly rude to
people
every
are
woman in the room.
Right here, it's this shit right here.
Yeah, he's a member of the He-Man Woman Hand.
Also,
Club.
just like
There's excellent local transit.
Of course I don't. I just
that
think
is
it's not
him,
have.
though.
He put the hand
But
up. Like,
listen, though, the fact that he's wearing this outfit already
Yeah,
tells
he
you
was-
something.
exactly, and that's
Yeah,
the
It already
thing.
tells
This
you
is the
so much,
guy.
though. Yeah.
so much
This is the
juxta-
guy who's he's like he works in IT and he thinks he's all tough because the company pays him a lot of money, but
No,
really
yeah.
he's a dick. Everyone knows it, and if they could get anyone else to do his job, they would in a heartbeat.
In a heart.
He's
He
gotta
dresses like a
be-
fucking nerd.
He's got to be. Harry.
Is he a
Producer
clone? Is he a
clone.
variant? Who is he? Is
having
Producer
sound
P.
issues like always.
I'm not having sound issues.
Oh,
He's
okay.
not having sound issues.
Shout out to not having.
All right, hold on.
Trying.
See, we've been waiting on this moment. We've been waiting on
Oh
this
yeah,
moment.
that's right. That's right.
See, because Terry sent us all some gifts, but everybody already got to show theirs, but we ain't got to show ours. You know what I'm saying?
Wonderful,
we got
wonderful
some,
guest. Thank you so much,
We
Terry.
got
Oh,
some
yeah,
Chardonnay.
that's what my gift.
Oh, mine hasn't been drank.
That gift.
Thank you so much, man. We getting it in. We about to get it in right
Uh-huh.
now. I've been waiting
Be
to crack
honest.
this open. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
In case y'all who were wondering, why is Bill not drinking like he normally do? That's because I had
Yeah.
to wait to get
Waiting
this.
to crack this open.
Oh yeah, and I was
I
gonna
wanna-
try
Are
this
those
She
chocolate.
want to
warm?
speak French. It's like,
There it is.
my
I
nephew
got mine.
plays La France.
Mine
My
has
nephew.
worked its way.
Yeah, my
Son,
son,
he
he
plays
plays
La
lacrosse.
Oh, and now
Oh.
the best present from Terry.
wasn't
Right here.
Oh,
from
wow.
me. It was
That's what
a
Terry
gift
got
from
me
my
for
Lord and
Paris.
Savior.
Oh man,
That was one of the clones.
5 straight. I see you.
Chocolate.
Jeff, did yours come
That's
in?
the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember I showed you the picture of all of the chocolate that I had ate in one
all
sitting?
the demolished chocolate that should have lasted you a couple days.
Well, in my defense, hangovers
All right.
suck. And when you don't drink for a couple months, they sneak up on you.
No, you know what? I hear that. I approve this message. My name is Bill, and I approve this message.
But Terry, did you like now that you're joining us on this Invincible chat? Did you watch this episode of Invincible?
I did. I'm feeling it. Have y'all talked about Donald? Why is he back?
No,
we
no.
haven't gotten
Oh,
into the
no,
Donald of it
but-
all.
We
yet.
just
Oh,
started.
man.
We
Oh,
just started
good.
Invincible.
Because I noticed
Ooh,
that
yes.
in the last episode and this episode, they finally sort of address it. Not really, but somewhat address it.
Yeah,
They
touch on
see it out
enough
the
to
window
make
while
it
they're driving
awkward.
by.
Yeah, they touch on it enough to make it awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make it awkward. It was very awkward for everybody.
Right.
This was another one of those invincible things that's like in my subconscious where like I it's just something that I know, and when it happens, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's a thing that everyone else doesn't know yet.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the thing. They do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't spoil it because I have no idea what y'all talking
Right.
not-
No,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Trust
all-
me.
that's all I
Look,
wanted to say.
you saw us just do 20 minutes on Marvels, not spoil one thing. Look, we're
I'm just
very
throwing
good
it
about
out there for anybody in the ether.
Yes,
the
in the
comments.
chat. In the chat, we're not spoiling
Yeah.
anything. Okay, what's
So that
been
was
happened
Donald.
is happened, and then we'll go into that.
That being said, we are driving drunk here, so
Facts.
if you do catch a spoiler here and there, I'm sorry.
He's a sorcerer supreme.
the Sorcerer Supreme.
Opened a portal and stepped right through.
Yeah, Alex, but where were you going to start from before we introduce to?
Yeah, what were we talking about before? 'Cause we were
The guy that hates his wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. Eve's dad. I liked Eve's storyline in. Oh no, not Eve's dad. Oh, sorry, that's right. We had a lot of man haters. We had a lot of women haters. Oh damn.
Can we
Toxic
address something right now?
masculinity
His
in
dad
this
hates his
episode.
daughter.
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
They did this 2 for 2 of making a character black or a black character and making them awful. First example is Amber season 1, terrible. And now we get abusive black man. Like,
I'm glad you said that because I just literally that's where I was at going with it. I was like, well, first of all, that's not how a black man, even if he was abusive, that's not how a black man talked to his wife when he's
abusive black nerd.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to give it to that level. That was weird.
Hey, sometimes you're
if he is a black nerd that works in IT, he's like the CEO of the COO of IT. You know what I'm saying?
She's not that. What was that?
Did we mention
Like, what the fuck was he about to do right there?
He's going to raise up on them.
Come on. He was going to want to talk to a manager. He wasn't going to like step on.
No, that was a bit much.
I will say, as a person who's worked in customer service for a long time, sometimes you'll hear somebody like whisper some bullshit to a customer that they hate, and then the customer loses it. They're like, oh shit! At that moment, like was a little truthful to me. And I also just like where the writer was trying to get with this scene where, trying to reawaken Sandra Oh's character. I forget what the mom's name is. How she feels about just
Debbie.
Yes, Debbie. Sorry. About how she feels about all this. The recalling the whole how Omni-Man saw Debbie as a pet. Her saying is like she's not your pet. Like I
because he said that to Mark.
Yeah, it's like
I guess
like a pet.
So I guess Mark was snitching. Went back and told my Dukes. He went back and told my Dukes. Oh, he said you were a pet, Mom. Like,
he was wearing a wire.
Yeah, he was wearing the wire.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was on camera.
She heard that.
He was a real snitch. He was a real snitch.
Well,
yeah, he was.
And I think it makes sense because later on, someone got
Still would have been like, hold on, Dad. Let me.
I've been like,
cut the shit off.
I've been like,
No, Mom's listening.
He would have lifted his shirt up.
I'm like, oh, what did you think about Mom?
I'm just thinking of that scene in Blue Streak now.
What do you think about Mom?
But yeah, then we get into the I guess the subject of the title, because later on, Invincible has to reckon for his dad's sins.
He had to fuck a fish.
He had to fuck a fish, or so he thought.
Well, he had to marry a fish, then fuck a fish, because it had to be a sanctimonious, like it had to be a real, true Christian marriage. So they needed to do it after marriage.
Them Atlanteans don't fuck around with their Christianity.
No, they don't.
They do not.
They started Christianity. I'm sorry.
You heard it. Sorry. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm sorry. Look, this is a comedy show. This is a comedy show, and
how do you think he walked on water?
This is a comedy show, and no one's views are represented as real life. You could take any of that other shit and shove it up your ass.
We all bullshitting. But yeah, you go ahead. Were you about to play
Jesus was really a fish, though.
Yes, Jesus. Sure. Jesus was a gefilte fish. That's fucking ridiculous.
You will address us as your majesty. Air breather. Right, your majesty.
It's such
an honor to meet you, and
air breather.
Very sorry.
Play dress up with you humans.
We're not getting married?
We abolished that barbaric custom. What do you think we are, savages?
Yeah, I did like this. This little storyline with all of this, sort of. But again,
I did really like this sort of.
Well, I mean, like I liked the sort of like tongue in cheek. I like the tongue in cheek aspect of Invincible, where they're just like taking a shit on tropes. But it did also feel kind of Monster of the Week. I'm ready to get to the big storyline. But how did you guys feel about that?
I liked that they kind of put them all together into one episode. They're like, let's just get it out of the fucking way.
Yeah. And I like that you gotta fill up. I don't want a filler episode, so fill up that space with something. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get to the Langstrom story. So like, ease me into that, pull me into that. Let me
Recap
go
episodes
through what I
always
need to
piss me
go
off.
through with Mark. Mark has a lot of story to tell, and if they want to tell all of it, which if you've read the comics out there, I don't know who has, but if you want to tell all of it, man, you'll be telling it for this could be a 12-year show.
I'd say like that's I
those
think
omnibus
what I
are
was kind of confused about, because the first episode I was like, oh shit, there is some stuff going down. And then this episode I was like, man, they are just like ping-ponging around with all of these different things that I feel have no real substance to what the overall plot is going to be.
Right.
But they do.
And I still got to see. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if it's going to take 2 damn years to get one of these seasons, then you know, got to make it count every time I'm looking at the screen. I feel like.
Yeah.
I thought this
Yeah,
episode
definitely.
counted because I would say I liked how they were just tying up loose ends from the last season. Because I'm curious about what were they called? What's their superhero team? Not Justice League.
Guardians of the
Guardians
Globe.
of the
Yeah,
Globe.
so I kind of wanted to know what happened, and we're only now missing stories about the Amazon lady and the
Warrior
green
Woman?
lady with the stone.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's the only two we haven't really touched on. 'Cause
Right.
We got. Let's talk about Night City. God damn, that's a cool. I love it. I love
Yeah, that was pretty
the whole
rad.
theme of Night City.
Well,
there.
that's
That
when
was-
I was like, okay, so, like, why are we getting only, you know,
They should've stuck
like
with more of
5
that.
minutes, 3-4 minutes?
Yeah,
of it?
you're only getting
what's
like a little
going on?
tease of it, but I
Because he
feel
ain't
like-
got no real powers, B. He finna get hit. He
Yeah.
finna get hit in the neck, and that's it.
And it's honestly that's how exactly how I felt reading the comic book, getting up to this scene in the movie. Because like again, I love Batman, and we had Black Batman when I was like reading the comic book, and I was like, oh, he's definitely super dead now. And then he comes back. I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. Oh man, he's fucking crazy now. Oh, that
Right.
sucks.
Right.
And then it just kind of
Which-
ends in this moment. But yeah,
I want to know more about this Shadow Zone type.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say, which I mean, like this is a real world description of what would happen to Robin, going slowly fucking crazy, trying to fill
Right.
those shoes. He's the only one left. He never sees sunlight anymore, and now he's got these weird fucking powers that he doesn't know what he's doing with.
Right.
I
Your
mean,
cousin,
like-
Alex. Dick Grayson. That's your
yeah,
cousin.
yeah,
Yeah.
cousin twice removed.
But I mean, like that makes sense. Or then making fun of the superhero trope of just kind of being like, well, here's another one with the exact same powers, and that's what they did with the Martian. You know, shapeshifter, I think he calls himself.
Yeah, the shape smith.
John Human
shape
Man or
smith.
whatever the fuck.
The
Story
Shapesmith.
is, like, I was born a
Shapesmith.
human baby.
But
on
really,
the
it's
planet of
fucking.
Earth.
What's fucking?
And no one questions it.
No one
It's
questions it.
insane.
Look, what really fucks me up, since we talked about the Shapesmith, I just want to touch on him real quick. Oh, I don't really want to touch on him, but you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about him real quick. Because how did he get? Because I remember the Mars episode, but I'm like, how exactly did he get back?
So what happened was
That's the astronaut that got
basically,
stuck up there.
yeah, basically like when all the astronauts were running away from the Sequids, I guess what we didn't really see is that one of the astronauts got captured by the Sequids, and one of the
Got
Martians shapeshifted into the astronaut
astronaut,
Russ
yeah.
Livingston, and just basically took his place. And we
John
saw
Human Man.
and we saw on the ship when they were flying back that like he changed like
So he
had
just
like
escaped
a
from slavery.
American
He-
flag.
He
his,
escaped from slavery.
He hits her,
Yeah.
so now
Yeah,
he's
actually,
probably,
yes.
he probably actually is the last Martian.
Yeah, now
Or one
actually,
of them,
yeah.
at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
he's really unlike the other Martian dude who just left his people. This dude probably literally is the last Martian now.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad for old dude. Like, just quit the
But he doesn't
lie.
even
Yeah, I
know.
need to go
He
back.
seems like
You know
a
what?
cool
I need to-
dude, too. Like
I need to go back
He
and
seems
watch.
like he's gonna be a good guy.
Well, and
Yeah.
how about just the little things like doesn't know he has to pay bills, doesn't know he has to go to work. He's eating the frozen pizzas frozen.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
why
At
would
least
an alien know
hey,
any of that shit?
Hey, he's a dude that likes pizza. He's cool in my book.
Right.
You
Yeah.
need a little
Frozen-
help eating it, but he's
Frozen
eating
square
pizza.
pizza. You
Right?
got the
That's
frozen
a
square
American
Yeah.
right there.
or rectangle pizza.
I
I should
trust
say.
him.
And then he gets a
place.
place, and then he gets a place to live, and also a job all at the same time by joining the Guardians of the Globe under the name Shapesmith. How did you guys feel about him being like this, basically a Plastic Man character?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I fucks with Plastic Man. I think Plastic Man is one of the hardest superheroes to kill. There is out
Plastic
there.
Man fan.
Yeah.
He is hard to
one
kill.
of the strongest
One to
too.
kill.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
there were some pretty cool storylines with him.
Don't really want to fight Plastic Man.
No, you don't want to fight Plastic Man, but you know, he's a jokester, so maybe you can convince him to just go away.
Yeah.
If you're clever
You
enough,
could just
might
point
be-
out
I
a
feel
hot
like
woman
with
and
Plastic
he'll
Man,
go.
you could probably just
Go it.
smoke a blunt with him and chill
Exactly.
out.
That's what I'm saying. You'd be like, Plastic Man, look, smoke a blunt with me, and then go.
Let me tell you my side of it. Let me tell you
That's
why.
why he's got
bro.
those
Let me tell you why I'm
sunglasses.
robbing this bank.
Eyes are red.
He said what?
Because he used to be a bad guy, wasn't he? He wasn't always.
that might have been in
Before
Loki.
he got his
man.
powers, I think
I don't
before
know.
he gets
I
his
don't know.
powers, he robs banks or something like that.
Yeah, like he's
Before he
a
gets
shady,
his powers.
he's
Yeah,
a
I think
shady
so.
guy. You know,
Then
you
he
could
gets
probably
into an
explain to him
accident.
why you're committing crime, and he might let you get away with it.
Yeah, you know what? That might be true. That might
Are
be
Plastic
true.
Man's glasses like a part of him?
I don't know.
Or
That's
is
a
it-
good
are
question.
they like
Goggles?
actually-
Yeah, I
like, are
think
they
they
actually just like
are.
Ray Bans?
I mean,
They got
his-
melted to his face.
I think it's
His
kind of
uniform
like,
is a part of
yeah,
it.
I think it's like the unitard is just a choice, like the
No, I
speedo,
think-
like
I think that uniform's a part of him.
The
He
uniforms are
literally
on, but
never
with the
wears
glasses,
anything
though.
else.
But he can like change his form. I think he just does it.
yeah.
You know, there was one issue where he changed his form into a dress and got worn by Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the reason he wears the suit he has, because he
And
wants
that's why
you
I
to see
say
his guy.
he could probably convince him to do evil stuff. He's not that good.
Oh man,
He's good enough.
But I'm very excited to see where like this character goes, or where they decide to do with him in the show, especially again saying that now that Robert Kirkman has another chance to tell this story more economically and just like sort of tell these really interesting long form arcs with Mark coinciding with these like little crazy moments that sort of seem like Monster of the Week moments.
It all comes together like butt cheeks, and that's what makes it such a good show.
Yeah, it is incredible. And actually, before we talk about this very, very last moment, I'm curious if you guys, Jeff, you're the only person who's read the comics from Invincible 9. Terry, you guys haven't read the comics, right?
I have not. No.
Oh,
Terry,
sound
have
problems
you
again.
seen- No, we got
Terry,
sound
we can hear
problems.
you.
We got sound
sound
problems.
issues.
I muted myself. I was
Oh, there
Terry,
you
we
go.
can
There
hear
you
you.
go.
I got one of the first omnibus. So however many volumes that is, I want to say it actually probably
You're at least through this.
ended around season the end of season 1 is probably where my book ends.
That's like-
So all of
So
this
that's
stuff
the
I don't
first
really-
5 volumes
Okay.
then.
Yeah, I
First
think
five
I
volumes.
had
It's
like
like
the
42?
first 5 volumes together.
I can't remember. I got
Issue 42. I think issue 47 is when Omni-Man leaves, or issue 42 is like Omni-Man leaves.
okay. I can't remember the order of
If
the
you
issues,
know
but
that, put that in the comments. If y'all know it, if we got any
know,
comic
you know.
book heads in here who not willing to spoil anything, please don't spoil nothing.
Yeah, not and
Did you
this
guys-
isn't a spoiler for anything, but I just wanted to bring up the sorry, now were you about to say something about this?
Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick. The
Hurry
opening
up. No, I'm joking.
the title screen for the Invincible, obviously in the first season it was the blood splatter, and they've decided to replace that with this. Now that it's completely blackened with blood, they're doing the glass crack. And I noticed on this episode that there is like a little bit of a peak of what seems like a tease to, and this is not any real spoiler. No. Invincible changes his costume to a black and blue.
Yeah.
Problem is that's really far. That's like volume 12.
Yeah, but they've already done the robot story. Right. Like they advanced that.
That's a good point.
Hard. So
I
have a theory.
By the end of this season, it will probably be catched up to volume 12. Wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Volume 10. Me and Alex have a theory because the way they're doing Langstrom and introducing all that stuff. We have a theory without spoilers, but we think that we're gonna get the Invincible Wars.
Yeah, and that's
at the end of this season. Right. I think we're gonna get introduced, like whatever that's gonna let us roll into it. Yeah. By season 3, Invincible Wars will start.
And And in the comic books, the costume change just kind of happens because the artist got bored. He's like, I kind of just wanted to change the costume.
But I do feel like the second costume better.
Me too. I like it a lot. But I do feel like I feel like because of this title card, they're gonna maybe track it to something maybe thematically that happens. Maybe there's an event that happens with Mark that makes him want to change his costume or something. But guys, let us know in the comments. What do you know anything about the comic books? Are you interested in the costume change with Mark?
Right. Do you ever get nervous?
Are you high right now? Do you love this shit?
But moving right along I
still hate Eve's dad. I know Eve still fucks up.
I wanted to actually ask you guys about that because that was also like a gut punch too that I kind of saw coming.
Yeah,
because the
definitely saw that.
I don't know if this is up to code or whatever, and that
right. The only reason I kind of saw it coming or wasn't surprised by it, I guess you could say, is because she don't know nothing about building nothing.
Yeah,
she just don't know nothing. Like this ain't making an apple. This ain't making a pine cone into beer.
Right. This is what happens when you think rules are just for us pathetic normal people. Your powers don't make you a hero. They make you dangerous.
I just don't like the way the rest of his hair to her, though. Yeah,
he's a cock.
Oh yeah.
Y'all.
Bro, I've been what I like.
There's a reason y'all don't like that sound.
After your daughter has experienced something like that, is like she feels like she's responsible for affecting people's lives so negatively. You don't berate her. You try to console her.
Why not, Alex? Why would I console this ungrateful ass child?
You guys
need to get her life together?
Are you guys familiar with that story? I have no mouth, but I must scream.
Yeah.
I would have turned them into that puddle of a living blob.
But you know what? She really loves this dude.
It also shows she can't.
Why?
She can't affect people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But she could like put him into a box where he thinks that he is doing something for the rest of his life, and then
that'd be great.
He would have he would just live a life sitting still, thinking he's doing shit like going to work and taking a shit.
Human life, like, because I wasn't really because if she can like make fruits and vegetables, why can't she affect a person? Is that
she just can't change their molecular she can't change their matter.
Yeah, that's
she can kill you, but she just can't like change you.
The guy who created her put in a subconscious block that won't allow her to change the matter of other living people or creatures or herself.
Okay, so that's like the only thing she
gets. Because I was just like seeing her power, I was just like, man, she could be like the toughest fucking character in this show.
Yeah, she's like a Jean Grey of this show for sure.
Yeah, special though, she's able to at least manipulate people's memories.
That's a hint to something that's gonna come.
That's no spoilers. We teasers. Y'all are making good points. Is all I can say. Y'all are making some good.
Yeah. So my comic book knowledge has already ended. Like after season 1 was done, that's as much of the comic book as I read. So all this is new and introducing Langstrom. Did we talk about this last time? Like how stupid his kind of plan was. Like was that last second?
We did. Well, also,
we just talked about more so like, why didn't you just explain to people what the fuck you're doing? Why would you go to the fucking blue dudes first?
Mulder twins.
The Mauler twins. Why would you go to them first? Why not? If you know that this Invincible is the good Invincible, you know that. You know that. You know that this one changes. Why not go to them first?
You know, and
then like why not go to him first? Like, and say, hey, Mark, I know that you're the only Mark to not choose your dad over your family, your mother, and the human race. Guess what? Every other motherfucker like you is fucked up in every other universe. That would actually help Mark. Like he would be able to be like, yo,
right? Dude, the motivation.
I'm not like my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I'm not like any other me than anybody else, right?
So this is
you don't believe my story? Well, I can just take you to all these universes,
right?
Like I did with the fucking Mauler twins.
Exactly.
The Angstrom that lives in this universe is the one with the powers, right? The one that lives in our Invincibles universe.
I don't know if they've established what universe he's actually from.
Okay,
he can just.
I'm thinking that like because maybe, and this is playing devil's advocate, and I'm curious of what y'all think about this. Maybe he grew up in this universe where Mark is good and Omni-Man is not. He's only recently discovered as evil. He doesn't have the trauma that all the other Angstrom levies has.
No, but he does. He does because that's what happened with the accident.
Well, I mean, that's what happened with the accident. I'm saying before the accident, what motivates his.
No, he did. He said that he had experienced loss in his universe as well. He just had the Kang-like cognizance of it. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's like, I'm aware that time and dimensions are all like on a spectrum, so I can change things if I like get this one anomaly, right? Like, okay, but that's what me and Terry were saying, like, yo, this would have just made the shit super copacetic, but you know why that can't happen? Because this is a comic book, baby. So we need conflict. We need people making all the wrong decisions.
And we do get a little.
Just a little.
That was a great tantrum. I did predict that, like Alex can tell you, I predicted that somebody gonna break that damn cabinet because I was like, yo, it keep popping. I used to, before I was on bipolar medicine, that probably would have been me. I probably would have ripped that goddamn door off fucking hinges.
I really don't like how his head is like this though.
Oh yeah,
his head is we talked about that last week. We definitely talked about that.
He's got his neck, shoulder, head area looks like Brock Lesnar.
If Brock Lesnar was a burn victim, that's what he looked like. He got grafted.
Shout out to Lady Cecil.
Hold on, what's it say? What's something that it said? The blue nigga. Oh, the blue niggas did
nothing wrong.
Yeah,
the minute I saw them.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
I love the Maulers. I respect them. I feel like they are like a Skeeter Blue character, black character. They're just like,
we will be seeing them again. Yeah. We will definitely be seeing them again. As long as one of them lives, both of them will return.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that the Maulers just never die. I love it.
Maulers, hey.
Yeah.
Maulers never die, kid.
We just multiply.
Maulers never die. No, I was going to Sandlot. I was going to Sandlot.
I heard the cadence after.
Maulers never die, kid. Maulers never die.
But with the Maulers.
Yeah.
But moving right along, let's move on to
right along.
Let's end with
like, in church every transition is a song in black church.
Yeah.
In black church, every transition is a song. It's like, moving right along.
Yeah, this is like a
nobody else been in black church. Okay.
It's a Baptist church thing. Yeah. It's very regional.
Yeah.
Thing we're talking about now. Anyway, let's talk about Loki finale, season 2, episode 6, Glorious Purpose.
Purpose. Oh no, I missed Rick and Morty. Damn it!
Oh no, we actually kind of cut that because we were like, we'll come back. We said we'll come back to Rick and Morty.
Do you want to talk about Rick and Morty before we get up?
Hell no! I just turned the Disney app on. Nigga, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
This was a crazy timey-wimey
wibbly
episode. So many questions and thoughts. I have so many thoughts, but I'll get y'all's initial thoughts on this finale and where the show might be going, or where the MCU might be going forward after this. 9. I'm curious. What did you think of this episode?
Go ahead, let us know.
Oh wait, what I thought about this?
Yeah, just like initial thoughts.
And Loki, let's go, pulling them fucking whips and chains and different vines.
Branches.
I was like, okay, Whipmaster Loki in the house. I really did like it so much. And
he was like Ben Affleck in the cave with the ropes.
I haven't been watching it like week by week, so I like caught up with all like 3 episodes back to back. So I was like, okay.
Oh, that was.
I think watching it like that is so satisfying, because the last episode I saw was like the introduction of Victor Timely, and and so like to see that progress, and then we get to see and I was fucked up about it too, because this is called Glorious Purpose, and I was like, no, this is the first episode of the show. Let me actually watch season 2, episode 6.
Yeah.
I saw the title and I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up.
Damn, app's
You know what I
fucking
mean?
up.
And I was like, okay,
That's
I see
right.
what they're doing. I see how they're doing that OB shit. I
Yeah.
liked it. I really did like it.
The show is no, my bad. I was looking at the TV. They definitely went and made a complete motherfucking series. Even if they decide to do a 3rd season,
which I doubt it.
I doubt it as well. But I think they won't make a 3rd season. But all of these characters will be seen again very, very soon, and they will be involved in the Kang War and all this stuff that's coming, because we are definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised that they restrained themselves and didn't put like you'll see Loki again, and
that's the kind of shit they used to do when they first started.
That was fun.
Maybe they should start that shit again, where you actually know you're going to see this.
Right.
Like, this actually mattered. Then if you see that, you know it mattered.
I think they put it in the Guardians movie. But
they put it in freaking Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
3 or was that 2?
They
3.
They put it in.
You'll see Star-Lord again.
Right.
Yeah. They put it in WandaVision, White Vision or whatever will return or some shit like that.
You will not. Well, whatever Star-Lord you see, it won't be the one you saw.
Give Star-Lord a satisfying exit and then be like, let's bring him back, fuckers.
Hiddleston is
we're gonna wait till some of this Marvel news settles a little bit, and then we'll do a podcast on that for sure. But yes, Alex, take us in.
Yeah, in this episode, Loki time slips to the moment before the temporal loom's explosion. Despite his attempts, the loom always fails to accommodate the infinite branches. Loki slips to the moment before Sylvie kills He Who Remains, who tells Loki that the loom is a failsafe. Overloading it protects the sacred timeline by deleting the branches along with the TVA. And yeah, like you mentioned, this first like 10 minutes of this episode or 15 minutes of the episode or whatever is just him doing the same thing over. He's in Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Daying it.
But it was way better than Groundhog Day, because we didn't have to go through all of these moments that he experienced. We got to get to where he already knew all the shit that was going to happen, and it still worked.
Right. Yeah, he's actually like working toward trying to learn something and accomplish a goal. But much like Finn in The Last Jedi, it was all for naught. It was all for failure. What did you guys think of like this storyline and just like how he was working toward this thing, and then it ended up just kind of not working?
It all turned into spaghetti.
It all turned into spaghetti. Terry, what did you think of like this this first half of this episode, I guess, or first third of this episode.
I have not watched a single episode.
Great first person to ask about that.
That was the perfect first person to ask. I'm so glad you asked it. I was just thinking, Alex ain't say not a goddamn funny thing just now. Like all he just said, none of it was funny. I could have said, you could have stopped and said something funny, but then Terry said, I ain't never seen this. That was great.
I love it when you talk about how
No, it
unentertaining
made
I
it
am.
clear. Hey, on this podcast, if you guys do Loki first and then do Invincible and Rick and Morty, I'll join in because I haven't watched Loki.
No, honestly,
that was the shit that we did last week.
A little inside baseball. We ended with Loki ended with Rick and Morty last time, and then everybody just fucking stopped watching. And once we started talking about Rick and Morty, everyone's like, "Oh, time to stop."
Yep.
It's like, well, maybe we should turn this around.
It's a wrap.
Also,
And
I
this
will
was such a
say
good episode,
Loki being the finale, making it the finale episode, bit of symmetry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for the good stuff. Man, but look at this spaghettification. I just pausing it right here.
Horrifying.
I did not realize how painful it was that we can like
Look
see
at his teeth.
and like his molecular,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it is bad.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
look pretty bad.
It does look. You know what? What do you think? You think it would hurt more than you would be surprised? Like,
Yeah.
would you
I
be
mean,
more
so-
surprised
Yeah,
than
you
you
would
were
be
hurt,
very
or
shocked,
would you
yeah.
be like more hurt than you were
Well,
surprised?
so that's what brings us to that question that we've been talking about. You spaghettify
Does
as you
it?
approach the speed of
Oh, my
light.
bad. Sorry.
Right.
You
What was your- what
spaghettify
was
as
your-
you approach. You spaghettify as you approach the speed of light. So every
Oh,
second
yeah.
seems longer than the one before that. So it's not even like it's necessarily a quick death for him, because if he's approaching the speed of light, and that's why he's spaghettifying,
Yeah.
it's an eternity.
Yeah, I forgot. You know what? That's why y'all come here to the Drunk Banthas podcast, because we gonna give you the physics. We giving you goddamn quantum theories and shit.
And I feel like the show definitely tries. It's a very somber episode. It really lets you revel in the tragedy and all of this that's happening. Because that's another one of the things I was thinking about, like when he's encountering these people who are essentially met for their doom. They're about to not exist anymore, but they don't know that he's about to reverse time, and they're still experiencing this.
Mobius was starting to catch on, but he still didn't know. Every time he's just, what do you mean this time?
Right? Yeah.
Like, he was starting to get it, but even he wasn't 100% on board.
I think everybody would have got it, but it was not enough time. Not enough time for him to explain it.
And yeah, there's also that like limit because of when they got him into the building, right? Or like he couldn't speed that up any faster.
No.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So like there is like that set time limit. That's I thought that was really good.
The fact that he went centuries, right, and had all those experiences, at the end, or was it the end? Yeah, towards the end, when he talks to He Who Remains, we have to assume that he did all the things, anything that we can think of that, he should have did this, or he could have did this, or he did it. Anything that we could, he did it. He fucking did it.
I love that.
He did that shit. So there's no theory any nerd on the internet, present company included, can say anything about it. Like
he did the Doctor Strange.
I do have one.
I was gonna play this clip. Real quick.
How long would it take?
Decades.
Centuries.
He was just like, fuck it. Yeah. Centuries later, let's go.
I'm a god.
That's
How many times do you think he was just like, I'm gonna go do a weekend in Cabo. I need a break.
Right.
I mean, he could.
Surely he took a break in
Where did he
centuries.
go? Did he go like straight back to those moments? Because that means he just has to go back, explain to OB like, oh, tell me everything that you know because of reasons, and then let's go. I'm at this chapter of this book. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then like has to like only gets
The
what, like,
answer
an
to
hour
your
to
question, no, the answer to his question is yes.
Well,
I think he has to.
I think that the smart thing would be to do is to go back like 200 years and meet
wouldn't
Obi in the
work.
basement and just talk to him about.
Yeah, you could talk to him because that wouldn't work either.
Shit.
Here's the issue. Remember when he's got all their variants together and they're outside of time? That they started all spaghettifying anyway. The spaghettification issue that's happening to all the timelines, it's happening. It's not like, hey, if you go back far enough, you have this much time.
Right.
It's you have the same set amount of time each time, I think. At least that's how I took it.
Damn,
yeah, no, I think
frustrating.
exactly. You're not like going back and then because when he went back and talked to Mobius and had that moment with him in season 1, episode 1, which was also episode called
Does it
lazy writing?
No, the episode was also called Glorious Purpose.
Yes.
So, but anyway, with that in that scene, at the end of the scene, he shakes Mobius' hand and he disappears as well. So yeah, he's only got so much time wherever he goes, whenever he goes. So he didn't go to Cabo. He didn't go to Tulum or nothing like that. He had time. He had time for all that. He just had to he had seconds.
Yeah, and that was interestingly explained in that moment. I forgot that they had that moment with Mobius.
So
like, shit.
So the most that he could do is probably get to Obi like in a more peaceful time when everybody's not around, and that like have a conversation with him. But still, he has to, reset every single time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would suck.
Maybe he would just like go to OB as a stranger and just be like, "Hey, tell me about this one fundamental of physics."
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
but then it turns.
Well, I was gonna say also, yes, because he did it for centuries. So whatever we could think of, he did it.
Yeah.
Hundreds of trillions of times probably. Because we're talking about seconds. That he has.
And then it turns out, like, obviously at the beginning, or in this first half of the movie where of the episode where he tries to solve this problem with the loom, it's all for naught. Like, there's the loom was made as a failsafe to make sure that the sacred timeline exists.
I do want to answer this question really quickly. Why didn't Loki just do it himself in the first place? Because then the episode would have only been 15 minutes long.
Right. I was shocked. I was shocked to know that he's fucking like, radiation time radiation proof. It's like, you don't even get the armor.
Well, also he probably had already tried
a god.
that a few times. But let me just tell you, who want to be sitting down by themselves for fucking rest of eternity holding time together? Like, shit, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna try to figure out every other fucking opportunity that I can use. Like, but I'm looking under every nook.
I'm just shocked he didn't spaghettify. Like he had to go out there with the suit and everything.
Well, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
But we'll get into the
Loki never went out there though.
Heavy lies the crown. Later.
No, we didn't see him go. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he went out there before in the centuries that he tried this. I'm assuming.
Thinking,
I'm just putting that out there.
I don't know. I'm thinking this had to be one of his last shots. Yeah, because if he spaghettifies, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Right. And
well, I mean, if you did it for centuries, wouldn't you probably just gone yourself? If you were doing that for centuries?
I don't know. I'm not a god.
Yeah, me either. I mean,
it's a miracle that he didn't go.
I'll ask Kanye when I see him tomorrow.
So how about the fact that at the end of season 1, we think that He Who Remains didn't have a plan? No, he had a plan the entire time, even for if Sylvie fucking murders him.
Yeah, which is I'm glad that you mentioned that because I really did love this scene with He Who Remains. We get the return of He Who Remains.
Yeah, my guy.
I liked the moment where he was shitting on Victor Timely. He's like, "Oh, I'm sure you met Timely." Like, you're a dick.
Even you hate you. Got it.
And he still kept doing him dirty, in my opinion. Damn, did I fuck this up again? He still kept doing them dirty, in my opinion, because he kept saying, so did you finally learn to pause time. I was like, damn, he's still making fun of Timely. God damn, like he's getting all the jokes off.
But then how great was Loki just sitting there like, boop. What makes you think that's the first time we've had this conversation?
So this, I did really like this scene, and I liked this moment and things that happened later on in the episode. But I gotta ask you guys, what's up with the time powers? How did he get the powers of all time?
Because he was. What did you not watch the first 2 episodes? He got pruned and brought him all together because he was time slipping previously, which I want to get into later when we talk about Monica Rambeau. But it brought all of his, I guess, consciousnesses from all over different universes. Variant. I don't want to say variant.
So he angstrom levied.
He angstrom levied. He angstrom levied and came together in all existence. And but he didn't know how to control it. So they gave him the little pruning and they put him back together. But when they got exploded, then he went back into the timey slippy. And that's when we got 42 hair flips in one episode. I'm talking about.
I think that would have been one of the moments of the show, because there have been a lot of very science fiction-y things that have been happening in this season, where I just have to be like, okay, I can't get bogged down in the logic of this. I just have to keep going. Otherwise, I'm gonna just like not be.
He's Ed from Good Burger.
Yeah, it's like I know some of those words. Yeah, like I hear some of this shit. It's like, okay, I can pick up on some of it, but I can't get bogged down.
So
on all
I took it a different way. I took it as Loki's always been the heart of Yggdrasil, the World Tree.
Right,
but it's always been that way. And it was just waiting for time to circle back because, I mean, Ouroboros, times to circle, all that jazz. So, and it makes sense too, because the only people who knew about the World Tree were the Norse, where Loki comes from. So I don't know. I took it as, it turns out Loki has always been at the heart of Yggdrasil, which I think is kind of where his like powers and everything stems from.
I thought that too. On my first watch. On my second watch earlier today, I thought much different, because the conversation that he has with He Who Remains at the end, he is clearly stating that this is different. What we're doing right now is different than what's been done previously. I'm going to move he's going to change the equation. He Who Remains
is saying.
That's what He Who Remains is saying, but that's also what Loki's saying, because he's saying, I'll change your equation. I'm going to change your equation. But He Who Remains thought he meant, when he said that, he thought that he meant that he was going to kill Sylvie. He makes the decision not to kill Sylvie, but to sacrifice his own self. Not his self physically, but his self as far as his ability to do anything other than he became Atlas.
Yeah.
He's the universe's
so let
Atlas.
Me ask you a question.
He's holding up the earth for everybody, so everybody else can live.
So let me ask you a question. The Mobius that we've had this entire series.
Not
he decides,
Mobius.
I'm gonna
not
go
slow-mo.
No. He decides, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go look at my I have to see my life. I have to be a part of it.
Right.
But he can't. He's been plucked out of that timeline. So even if he goes back to that timeline, there's another Mobius there. Right. So wouldn't that mean that the Loki variant that we've been watching that's been plucked out of that timeline has always been destined for this, regardless of what people like He Who Remains think they know of the future?
No, the reason that is not the case is because the reason that's not the case is because it's because the way, if we go back to the last episode of the first season, He Who Remains explains that the way that the multi-universal war, whatever the fuck, the way that the war starts is because they meet each other.
The gang.
The gang. We pronounce words wrong on Drunk Banthas now. That's how it goes down now.
Wait, hold on.
How is Victor timely?
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. That's like you making fun of your cousin. No, that's like you making fun of your cousin. He's slow. You like, look, my name Little Daryl.
Yeah, right. That's Little Daryl.
That's fucked up.
But yeah,
hold on. What was I talking about? That was fun. That was too funny. That messed me up. Maybe lose the train of thought. Yes, I just basically point being, I think that all of this just happened for the first time. Everything just moved over. Hold on, I wasn't reading.
they should recast Kang as Terrence Howard. He would remain. Your mind. That would be. That would be.
You mean
incredible.
to tell me you ain't figured out how to do time
God.
stopping yet, man?
if they wanna bring the MCU audience back in, bring back the guy who got dissed as War Machine back as Kang the Conqueror. Yeah. Oh my god, that would be incredible.
I would come back.
Oh my god,
the internet would explode,
especially watching him play Timely.
Oh, I'd watch.
Can you answer this, Jeff? Is Mobius a Odin variant ever?
I don't know,
No.
But
No.
If so, I like it.
I'm here for it.
I don't know Mobius from the comics at all.
Mobius is in the comics. He does work for the TVA, but also, no, I don't think he is a variant. But I think that they do run into the Thor where Thor was switching bodies with his character at that time. But
there is one alternate universe where he is a character who can control time, and his name is Slow Mobius. I do remember.
Yeah, we did.
All right,
but hold on, because damn, nigga, why did you do that?
I'm so sorry. No, because I know exactly where you're going with this, Bill. Because the thing about it is that no matter where we are in the MCU in the 616, the TVA, the events of Loki are happening all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They exist
outside of space
or
outside of it. So like it would kind of, I feel like, be a little bit impossible for this Kang or He Who Remains to actually like fundamentally like pick a purpose for Loki. He can try to track everything that they do or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, if they get the upper hand on him, then he doesn't have any control of like where they're coming from.
Yes. Look,
this is
hold on. This is my whole thing. This is what I'm trying to say. Kang has his Ouroboros, like you said, right? That is the sacred timeline. The sacred timeline is the Ouroboros. That's why it goes like this. It's eating its own tail. He's made it they made it very clear in the end of this episode that Loki destroys that. He blows it up. He told He Who Remains that's what he was going to do. He destroys it. So there is no more of that. That doesn't exist. Before he did that, there were already variants of Kang out there popping up all over the place. They even mentioned the one we saw in Ant-Man at the end of this episode.
Yep,
Right.
616.
So we know that. So everything that we have gotten until now is now obliterated. Like everything that we knew before this no longer holds water because so many
part of the sacred timeline because there is no sacred timeline.
Exactly. Right. The sacred timeline has been blown into infinite possibilities.
I need a whiteboard right now.
Yeah.
So my thing is,
hold on. Let's see. You take this planet right here. This planet right here. That one is the same as this planet right here, except at this planet, all bread is humans like we are, and then we are bread. So people eat bread, eats us.
All right, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the body is the bread. That makes sense.
That's how variants work.
I will say, like, sorry, just talk about the style about this before, because we could talk about this for a while, but before we wrap things up, I just want to hear how you guys felt about the ending of this and the weird somber vibe of it, because it did feel very different from most Marvel-y things. Like, even as much as I liked the Marvels, that didn't feel like a Nia DaCosta movie. But this show did feel like, at the end of the show just felt like very personal and very, like, the music was like swelling in this like Requiem for a Dream type way. Like, it was very interesting. Like, how did you guys feel about just like the style of this show versus like other
beautiful?
Marvel
it's like
things?
the best. Like, I wish they would use this type of direction style in more shows on Disney Plus, because we talked about Andor, and I feel like this season of Loki is a contender of actually avoiding that cookie cutter type of style that a lot of these Disney Plus shows fall under.
Yes.
How about you? How do you feel, Jeff? Just like
I agree.
the vibe of this show.
It's a beautiful ending. I think stylistically, the way they ended up going with it was gorgeous. And it went in directions we didn't see coming, while keeping us happy with what's happening. I also just love the fact that as Loki, I mean, for me, the part where Loki's like walking and like you see his clothing start to rip off and it reveals his godlike clothes again, but now they're different. Like, instead of the gold horns, those horns are actually, they have the same design as like the Citadel or whatever at the end of time with He Who Remains.
Right. They have the cracks and the kinks,
and also those rags that he's like, the
awesome.
clothes that he's wearing are a little like
they're very similar to He Who Remains. Yeah,
they're similar to He Who Remains, but they are similar to the ones. There's a comic where Loki is wearing Loki finds himself at the end of time, only to find that Loki has been controlling time for like the entire time. And so that's very similar to what we're seeing here and what you've been insinuating, Jeff, like what you've been theorizing. Yeah, but like, I just thought that it was dope that he had a darker look to him, like you said, not gold. And he's got more rags,
not prideful.
You know what I'm saying? Not like, like I'm just out here. You know who he looks like? He looks more like
let go of his ego.
He looks kind of like the ones. It reminded me to season 1 callback where he met all the Lokis, and then like one of the Lokis sacrificed himself by going up against Goliath. And I love how old Loki sacrificed himself to Goliath by trying to stop him. And that's why I just brought up Goliath, because I want to bring up Monica Rambeau, real quick, because Morgan just said something about Monica Rambeau. And I wanted to talk about that because Monica Rambeau, I have a theory about what happened, but Jeff, how do you feel about what happened with Monica Rambeau? Like, what do you think happened? Because you don't remember what happened then?
I still have it.
Not Monica Rambeau, excuse me. Renslayer.
I was gonna say, like, wait, what?
Oh,
I'm drinking.
She got eaten. I mean, like, Goliath is bearing down on her. Well, so I think that's what they want us to think. I think they're going to come up with some convoluted way she escaped it, so that if we, all right, I think it's going to.
There's more variants of her.
If we don't have any more seasons of Loki, she got eaten. If we got more seasons of Loki, she got out and she's the new big bad.
See, I think, well, Nine, do you have any theories or no?
So confused when you kept bringing up Rambo.
Man,
I was like, wait, what?
Everybody should have been confused. That's just natural.
With Renslayer, I think, I want to lean to the fact that she got eaten by life, but the fact of the matter is we didn't see her, like, her destruction. Right. So she can come back, and especially her variants. You know what I mean?
Yes. So this is what I think happened. I think that she didn't get eaten, right? Like we already said.
I agree with Athelius. Yeah. She's too fine.
She's too fine. You know what I'm saying? And she's finna get these big checks. I think that they got a lot. I think they have a lot planned for her in the future. And so check this out. She didn't die. We saw at the end that where she was, that was the the TVA's old building, right? Like at some point there was another TVA because it said for all time,
right? Yeah,
always on the thing.
Always.
She doesn't look sad or scared when she sees Eliath, which leads
She
me
looks more
to
annoyed
believe
than anything.
Exactly. She looks pissed. Like she looks like I'm gonna fuck your ass up. And what leads me to believe, since she was the leader of Kang's army and she single-handedly did all the things that Kang wasn't gonna do, she mentions that when she sees Victor Timely. I think she's the one who tamed Goliath. So I think that she's gonna
that's
get
a
up out of
defiant
there.
look right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, she knew exactly
She
what
looked
was going on.
super badass, and she knew exactly what was going on. And I think she knows what's going on because she got pruned at the same time that there was like anomalies happening, just like when Loki got pruned. So I think that maybe she combined herself, all of her selves combined. And like we found out in the first season of Loki, you go to this place when you get pruned. You don't just actually just disappear. You go to this place, but maybe all of her variants combined, and then she got her knowledge back, her memories back.
Yeah. That like honestly, yeah. There's so
That's
many.
my theory.
That's an interesting theory. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Renslayer and all the with the what's it called, the Goliath.
Eliath.
Yeah.
Look, the only name I got right, you getting wrong. Only name I got right.
So friggin' annoying too.
I want to call out Thelius here. Man, Loki was standing on business in them loafers. Because I didn't notice the loafers too. I was like, okay,
he had got the loafers on.
You got the.
That's the thing.
Do you think he's
entire
wearing
outfit,
socks, or do you think he's got those like tiny ass like little?
He
socks
got them tiny
where,
socks. Yeah, he got them tiny socks.
Like,
yeah,
he got them tiny socks. Because you know what? If he was broke, I'd say he was wearing no socks. But
yeah, Loki's too. Yeah, he's too classy.
He got that good money, and he rich, and he a god. So I'm gonna say,
especially when you can materialize socks that contour to your feet perfectly.
Right, you can materialize socks that don't even sweat, don't even make your feet sweat.
Yeah,
you can make socks that make your feet smell
antimicrobial socks that are invisible to the naked eye.
You can have socks that eat the bacteria off your foot.
But guys, let us know in the comments how you felt about the Loki finale and like where the MCU is going forward with this multiverse of madness that's going on right
Terry,
now.
So bringing it back to the North stuff too.
Terry,
like, I love that tree.
Terry, let's isolate everybody else who's on this show right now. We're gonna talk about.
Guess what time it is, Terry?
A little bit more.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about Rick and Morty a little bit more.
A little bit more. Yeah, how did you feel about this episode?
There's
a lot of
let's get swifty.
This is definitely my favorite fucking episode, probably in a long time, because I have always been a huge fan of the evil Morty concept, and I hate how they kind of like tease me a little bit about evil Mortys, and they're not going to even bring them up again. And then, we finally got like evil Morty, like just kind of written off with his own little portal thing. And now we get him back to see what he's been up to. And, he looks like that place is a struggle. And like when they showed all the different portals and everybody else who's just like can make portal technology besides Rick, and they're not having a good time with that portal technology. I do not blame Rick for what he did once he created portal technology of uniting those Ricks and then being like, let's isolate ourselves in our own section.
It's safer.
Infinity. Yeah. We need to like cut Infinity a little bit off here and make our own section of it. And I don't blame that idea no more. I after seeing them, what everybody else is going through, that seems like a genius idea.
Well, and it's funny, like, I think we talked about this before you got on. But one of the things I really like about Rick and Morty, and especially with the Infinite Ricks, is how this show and like the Council of Ricks is how he like this kind of steals from the John Hickman run of Fantastic Four, is like the Council of Reeds, and he created that
Yeah.
in multi-universal
We
place.
did not mention
for
the
the same-
Council of Reeds before we got on.
Well, we didn't mention that.
I'm just saying.
we didn't mention that specifically, but like, yeah,
Wait, for some reason, I thought I didn't mention it for Invincible because of the what's his face.
oh yeah, Angstrom Levy.
He had the
Yeah.
Everything has a
Well,
multiverse. This episode.
Yeah, what I was
this
gonna
is exactly
this,
what happened last time
this-
for Rick and Morty. Everybody just started leaving.
well, this is what I was trying to bring up. Yeah, unfortunately. This is what I was trying to bring up, like what we were talking about before. Is like how multiverses have just become just sort of part of the zeitgeist, and I feel like Rick and Morty is much attributed to that happening in like movies and television now. Do you feel the same way, Terry? Do you feel like they kind of jump started this people's obsession with multiverses?
I don't know if they jump started it, but they definitely put it to the forefront of one of the higher shows that have a multiverse. Now I'm trying to think of what came before Rick and Morty that had multiverse.
Right, because obviously we had it in
I know
comics
there's
and
something
stuff,
before Rick
but-
and Morty.
yeah.
But they definitely did add to the popularity that we're seeing now. I can't deny that.
In movies and television, I don't know if they're. I can't think of one that did it before these guys. wait, I know.
Jet Li the one.
Everybody thought of
Not Jet
something
Li
at the same time.
Jet Li is not. Jet Li is not it. Because I got another one. Jeff, what was yours?
Was Full Metal Alchemist? Did that come out before Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
way before.
that.
Yeah, that had
No,
I mean, it was kind of a multiverse type.
Full
of
Metal, we got
It had
Full
two
Metal Alchemist, the
universes.
one and
9. You got
At
one.
least two.
A multiverse thing, but I mean, yeah, just like
Before
the
Rick
comics,
and Morty.
because I knew about like the Council of Reeds before, like
Okay. But we're talking about that made it into
And,
a
like,
cartoon or
like
television show.
mainstream. Nah, like I cannot like.
I'm
Doctor
going
Who?
with Spider-Man animated series.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give you
Yeah.
that one. That
Because
one.
we had
Yeah. How they
Yeah,
ended this
they
series.
bended into the Spider-Verse.
But
Yeah.
I think because Rick and Morty had crazy ass white boys like jumping on McDonald's countertops and shit like that. Like it had a very like cultural impact I've had friends of mine who don't like Rick and Morty.
I don't understand what you just said. So
I'm
can
just
you explain that to me?
Well, I'm just talking about like because of the popularity of the show, I feel like
Say what you said again. Say what you said. That sounded elegant.
I don't remember exactly what I said.
said
Let's
white
not
boys-
get why you living in the
white
past.
White boys
Watch it on the
jumping-
replay.
White boys jumping on
McDonald's countertops.
McDonald's
Because
counter.
Because the
Nugget
Szechuan
sauce,
sauce. and
Szechuan
shit.
sauce.
No,
That's
yeah. Look,
Jump out the coop.
I need to hear it. I need to know what's going on. So hey, thank you.
But just because the cultural impact of Rick and Morty and their way of writing this sort of tongue-in-cheek I guess commentary on or like I guess a version of these sci-fi tropes, they're able to bring these multiversal concepts in a palpable way for like your common viewer who just wants to come in and watch dick and fart jokes.
Palpable.
But I just wanted to talk about
Palpable
that real
is
quick.
very.
Sliders.
You can cut it with
No,
the
never
knife.
mind. I'll say that later. Palpable.
But yeah, like how did you feel about just like the way that everything turned out with Evil Morty, Evil Rick, and just normal ass Rick and Morty in this
Normal
episode?
ass.
I didn't really the whole idea of the evil Rick too long. Like I felt like that storyline was getting drawn out. It's like you gotta have either evil Rick or evil Morty. Like you can't have them both. And so I'm glad that they got rid of evil Rick real quickly in a full circle thing. Just beat the man to death. That's what he did. He explained what he did to Diane. That was cool. And then we just got to see more evil Morty. I just love evil Morty's attitude about everything and how he handles situations like that. It's just
Yeah, Evil Morty's
Did
way
you mute
cooler.
yourself?
Oh yeah, it sounds like we got a mute on you, producer T. But Evil Morty is way cooler than Evil Rick. I will definitely say that for sure.
Yeah, no, I think because they could have chosen. I mean, they maybe had this on the board, maybe but they could have chosen to go the same way they did with Evil Rick. Like Evil Rick did some crazy shit, but like, he meets him and then he finds out that he needs to actually be cool with him.
Now
they need to
is
kill
Evil
Rick and Morty.
evil? Because, like, I haven't watched any of season 7.
Okay,
but
so let me
Joey
explain. Let me
Porgy has
explain.
Evil, like Rick Prime, and then there's Evil Morty. You know what I mean?
Right. So Rick Prime, we're calling him Evil Rick, right? So Evil Rick killed our Rick. Our Rick.
Oh, right. He did kill the Beth.
He killed our Rick's wife.
Right.
And kid.
And
killed
child.
Beth, too,
He killed Beth. So he never grew up to have a Morty. Grew up. He was a goddamn grown ass man. But yeah, he never.
I think it's safe to say that he's the first Rick to come up with the.
He's one of the first
to discover.
He's one of the first because Evil Rick is the first one. Because
I'm saying Evil.
Rick Prime is the,
oh yeah. He was the one who gave it to everybody. But he also mentions in this episode that, like, hey, if I hadn't have got it, you would have got it, and then you would have been the one blowing my kids up.
That's the most fucked up thing about it all. Is and Terry, let me know how you feel about this, like, sort of scene.
That's
like
crazy.
the scene where he's killing I guess Evil Rick. They keep calling him Prime Rick in Wikipedia. I hate that
because that's stupid.
but yeah, like he basically says that you would have been me if the table was on the other foot.
Yeah, he said that. That's something that wasn't written in Wikipedia.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that because sometimes he likes to refer to himself as the Rickest Rick.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know. I have to say, like, this Rick was just evil. He decided not only to kill like certain people's Beth, he decided to erase Beth off the entire like multiverse. Like, that's just evil. I was like, nah, I don't think anybody's that sick as you do.
That is
you are
evil.
like number one dick of all Ricks.
Yeah, he don't care about his kid. He don't care about no kids.
And I feel like this Rick is maybe the most, and he's probably the most helpful a true Rick will ever be. Like, Rick's always going to be a dick. That is like probably a given. But this is probably
the lovingest, loving.
Yeah,
Rick.
the lovingest one you'll ever get. While he was probably the most evilest one ever.
Which is why they were probably next to each other.
A grandson and a daughter.
Right.
This one wanted one, like,
Well, I guess that's one question that we also asked before we left, and then we'll get.
Well,
I
was just gonna just point out. But hold on to your question because this is real quick. I just was gonna point out that that's like something that maybe was brought out of that character because he never got to experience it, and then imagine you were introduced to this entire universe of yourself. And every single one of them got a kid and a daughter and a brother and a son-in-law and a grandkid, 2 grandkids, and you ain't got shit. Like, think about how fucking depressing that shit must have been. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead with what you go. Man, go ahead. I always feel like I say that. Like, man, go ahead with your stupid ass. Say what
you say your bullshit.
Yeah, say what the fuck you gonna say.
No, I get that is kind of like Michelle Yeoh's character in Everything Everywhere All at Once, where she's like the person who hasn't reached her potential the most in all the multiverses. But yeah, like one of the things, like at the end of this episode, we see that Rick doesn't feel like he has any meaning in life anymore, but he does find a little bit of solace in the comfort of his family.
Right.
But I think one of the things that we were talking about. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't think that's how he really felt, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's very left up to interpretation because it's all silent. We're just seeing animated faces. But at the end, like one of the things we talked about before is like, are Evil Rick and Evil Morty the Rickest Rick and the Mortiest Morty, or are our Rick and Morty?
Our Rick and Morty are the Mortiest Morty and the Rickest. The other niggas dead.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Terry. We talked about this already.
I want to say that Morty C-130, I guess he's still C-130. I guess Rick Prime's Morty. Our Morty isn't the Mortiest Morty. I gotta say, Evil Morty is the Morty.
Evil Morty is the Mortiest
Morty. That is shit. And I'd like to see him partner up with Rick more because they were getting things done.
They were. But you know what? We gotta have our Morty because he keeps the balance, the scale balance. Like, oh geez, like we shouldn't. My voice is so fucked up. I'm really normally a good impersonationist.
That's a hard voice to do.
Oh, I do it all the time. I do it every week. I fucking full disclosure, I threw up all weekend. I threw up a lot. And it was very bad.
We were
so
told.
bad.
Yeah, we just had a dozen holdups, like Michael Jordan flu game the other day. Like,
yes, it was so crazy. I literally just like threw up before and then got on camera and then threw up afterwards. It was great.
Yeah, he literally puked while we were recording. Like right before he was about to come on, he was like, "I'm still good." I was like, well, I didn't even have to ask him. I was like, "All right, I guess we're gonna."
He was going. I knew he was going to ask me. He was going to ask me.
But yeah, I guess we should probably get out of here.
So where do y'all think that it's going next week, man? Where do you think that Rick and Morty specifically? I just want to know, where do you think it's going next week?
I think we're gonna get a random classic adventure of something completely new because we've done a lot of backstory. I think we might get I would say a summer episode. Summer's probably going to be heavily in this one.
I miss summer.
There's not been a summer episode.
I miss summer
year,
and
everybody was kind of complaining we didn't get we haven't had a Morty episode. Like we got evil fucking Morty. Like shut your
shut your ass up.
That's fucking Morty. So I think we're going to get a really good, and we got a good Jerry episode.
Yeah, we did. We already got that one. Yep.
I think we'll get a good summer episode.
I feel like we're due for a summer episode, like for 2 seasons now. Like there hasn't been a real last season did not have
really summer heavy. Was it like season 5? Those
season
really
5, heavy? Season 6 had a summer episode, but this season hasn't had nothing summer. Yeah. No, actually, season 6 I don't think had a summer episode. I think Summer was in some episodes. I don't think she had her episode because we got a lot of Beth episodes, and I ain't like. I don't like the Beth episodes. I'm good. I'm good on Beth.
I like Space Beth episodes.
No, fuck that. I like the Beth episode where she went to the land where she left that dude. She left her little playmate, from her childhood. She left him in the universe that Rick made for her. That was really good. Look, for you, Jeff, for people like you, Jeff, Rick builds his daughter a different universe that she can't. It's like a playground that she can't get hurt in. It's a whole place. And there's like no living organisms, but like there's like animals that are just like playthings. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like a little fairy tale land. Yeah. And she took one of her friends there, and he made her mad, and she left him there. And then they go back there after like 42
He went through
years.
puberty.
Yeah, he went through puberty and he fucked everything that existed there, and everything that existed there had his baby. And it had his baby. So he had a bunch of weird babies running around, and he had a kingdom of weirdness. Well, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Enjoy that child support money.
Oh, last season we did kind of have a summer episode. It was the Die Hard one.
Oh man, was that
that was kind of a split one where it was
it was a split.
Morty and but the B story was all to Summer, her doing
it.
It
was. Man, we're gonna do a Die Hard.
I really love Summer.
One day we're gonna do a Die Hard, and also one day we're gonna do a Family Matters. Look out for that.
Oh man,
yeah. I want to do Family Matters. Bill, did you show Alex Too Many Cooks yet?
No, I haven't. He was here. He was here when we were looking at it, but then he left right before you pulled it up.
Right. Yeah, we got to do Too Many Cooks.
Got to do one.
Type of deal.
Type it in the comments, man. What do you want? You want us to do some sketches, some weird shit? We got you. Or don't. If you're embarrassed to text, if you're embarrassed to put it in the comments, just go ahead and hit me up on Instagram, Drunk Banthas.
Yeah. Just put us in the DM. Do you want to do something strange for a piece of change?
Yeah, don't send me no Dwight Howard
text it in a very creepy voice too.
Yeah, no,
but before
you don't be on the social media. Don't be saying
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I said don't be sending me no. I said don't be sending me no Dwight Howard shit. Don't be sending that.
I'm sorry. I'm lost on the reference right now.
Oh, well, Google that. And then, look, I said Dwight Howard, and the extra person came in. Look, I'm trying to tell you.
Who's Dwight Howard?
what?
Dwight
My
Howard's like,
ears
wait,
are
who?
Okay, look, Dwight Howard is a basketball player who has played basketball in the NBA for over like 15 plus years or whatever. And also, he.
Oh, yeah. He sent some text to a gay boyfriend.
Yeah, no, he sent some DMs to a dude who he solicited for a meetup, and then when he met up with him, he showed up with his gangbang buddy, he has accusations for other people who had the same situation happen to them, and the same dude showed up randomly, like, yo, I didn't invite him. I thought it was just gonna be us. And he's like, no, well, we gonna all be there. And if you were a woman and two dudes showed up after you said you was gonna go on a Tinder date with this nigga, like, and just two niggas showed up, you would be like, yo, like, I've been enjoying talking to you, but look, maybe we should end every Drunk Banthas episode with this.
I was about to say, I'm glad that we opened this up with sports and ended it with sports. But Terry, since you were the last one to enter, let's tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs before we get out of here.
Last one in, first one out.
Always find me on my personal Instagram of Terry F Photos. But more importantly, you can find me at tpins.com or at tpins for the Instagram, where you yourself can get your own custom made pins. These are new ones for Kappa Toys. You can't get these unless you work a year at Kappa Toys. So go get a job at the toy place.
You can't get these.
Go get yourself a job.
Also, I'll be doing a giveaway pretty soon for some souvenirs that I got from Paris for the Bring Me Something Back.
Oh yeah, hold on now. See, now hold on now, because we got some of them too. Now let me tell y'all what y'all
Jimmy
do.
items. I go to the Eiffel Tower itself to get those.
That's
right. I went to the top, and it was fun. It was cool.
These bitches.
That sounds terrifying to me.
Like the only bad part about the Eiffel Tower is that you can't see the Eiffel Tower from it.
Yes, that's what a lot of women say about my penis.
and unlike Mark Grayson, he actually went to Paris. He didn't go to Las Vegas like a cheapo. Jeff, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Well, you can always try and Skype me at Don Cheadle's Driveway at littledickie2.com. It's because of the hackers.
Damn.
You can try and find Jeff Madel on Facebook at MadelJeff on Instagram, or you can always just find me on Drunk Banthas and Nerds at Night.
That's right, indeed. And you can also find them on a show. Well, it's on Drunk Banthas, but you can see them on our show. Does It Hold Up? On the Drunk Banthas. You can also. Let me just say right now, for all of you who haven't liked, please like right now. We really appreciate y'all because y'all are the real ones. Y'all are the real ones because y'all stayed to the end just to see us. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Champagne and caviar dreams and champagne wishes and all that. You know what I'm saying? But enough about the people watching. 9. Where can the people find you?
Thank you for asking, my dear boy. You can find me right here. Maybe every Monday, maybe not. Who knows? I'm actually gonna probably binge Rick and Morty tonight. Like I'm very intrigued by this conversation. So maybe they should pay you guys to like do their advertising.
They should. You're absolutely
they should. Come on.
Planting
Send the screeners
seeds.
through. Come on, drop top. But I'm actually going to be dropping some content at my channel, which is I forgot my channel for a second, but that's right there.
It's right here.
Nerd Yards.
Yes.
And Nerds at Night. Yo, listen, I kind of been slacking lately because I have been having this job, but I got some fire content and some crazy interviews that are going to be going up at 9 Nerd Yards with the production designers for Dave for a Black Lady sketch show. They worked with YouTube Rewind. You know, come on, like they work with SZA. Motherfuckers, you motherfuckers.
The invitation.
Yeah.
Not Lizzo, not Lizzo,
Invitation.
not Lizzo.
Not-
SZA.
In the words of SZA, damn, Gina. That's
In the words of
in the words
SZA.
of SZA.
You said what?
Bill.
Not Martin. Not Martin.
hey, we're
Yo.
talking about SZA. But no, I
Oh, what happened?
I don't know
What happened?
Oh, that was crazy.
And I was going to say the Atlanta Iceberg is going to be dropping
Oh yeah,
pretty soon. Like it's going to be pretty soon. So you're gonna want to be tuning in and shit. It's gonna be pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like in a timely manner.
We did not get a chance to talk about Jonathan Major's performance, but we will wait until after his trial and we will talk about it again on this channel on next Monday. Every Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something right now, brother.
Before we get into the
on
wrestling promo,
I was about to do our promo right now.
Okay, go ahead. Real quick.
Let me tell you something,
30
Daddy.
seconds. 30 seconds.
Let me tell you something, Daddy. You need to come right here to the Drunk Banthas channel. We gonna do everything we can, because you know what I'm talking about. If you running on hard times, come right here, Drunk Banthas. We gonna do it every Monday night. You don't want to watch Raw, you want to watch right here, the Drunk Banthas, the D.
Hold on, when is it?
Every Monday night.
Monday.
Monday.
Wanna-
Right here. Now let me tell you something, Daddy. Now, if you think not having a job, that's hard times, Daddy. That's hard times. When a textile worker come and take your job, that's hard times, Daddy. That's hard
if you guys
times.
want to check out Black Dusty Roads every
But seriously,
Monday,
check us out on every Monday. Every Monday, right here. Y'all are the realest ones.
Thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We
Free
do this
Palestine.
every
free Palestine.
we do this every month. I'm not touching that with the 10 football. We do this every
Free America. Free America.
We
We
do
got
this-
two terrible presidential candidates and so it's fucking garbage. Free America. nigga.
Vote Steve Rogers for president. We do this live every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time on the Drunk Banthas and Nerds at Night YouTube channels. Check us out on YouTube. Sorry. Oh my God. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify. No, this is live. This doesn't hold up where we can edit things.
Well, that's why
everything's perfect.
That's why I interrupt you.
I appreciate that. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas.
Sprout, all that. Yeah.
Until next time, stay safe, my little evil Mortys and not so evil Mortys.
Oh yeah, you didn't say they can't get invited to the cookout.
That's because it's a different show.